We're working on the hood. The reason why farmers cut that out is so that they can just take the muffler off and not have to take the entire hood off. We don't want that. We want it to look more like this one. And we got a patch for it that should be on its way. And so we're gonna get off all the rough metal. Make it square, that way it's a lot easier to make straight lines than it is jagged ones, you know, for the new patch to weld it in. So you can keep me doing this for a little bit, I guess. Previously, we took a cutoff wheel and cut this patch square. Tried to get it as square as I could. It'll make it easier to cut straight lines on this patch when we get to, you know, making that fit the hole. I went over to the tractor and measured the distance between the radiator cap and the muffler, and I'm just going to go ahead and write it down here on the tractor hood. And on this one is from the air stack to the muffler, and on this one it is 4 inches. So okay, so now the problem is that the air stack's going to come up through here, but this hole is bigger than, you know, this hole is big enough for, you know, it's got some clearance around it, and this one's the same way. But we'll go ahead and make our 4-inch adjustment here, and like according to this, if we put that at 4 inches, then this one here will only be 2. So it looks like we got a 1/2 inch to mess with here. So we'll put this one at 2.5 inches, kind of to split the difference between the two. So there's 2.5 there. And this one should be 3.5. And then that's got that, that's gonna have a 1/4 inch all the way around this hole. So right there is where this patch is going to be. So where'd the pencil take off to? Oh, you dropped it on the floor. Okay. So what we're going to have now is the radiator, muffler hole, air stack. So we decided it's 3.5, and this is 2.5. So we don't forget that. Now, this has a body peak in this right here, so we really don't have to worry too much about, you know, the left and the right as much, because, you know, you've got this peak to deal with. So what I'm going to do is I want to cut this down to where it's just a little bit smaller than the hole. And the reason is when you tack weld this in here, the metal's going to get hot and expand. If you made it the exact same size as the hole, what it'll do is it'll go up there, as it heats up, it'll butt your 2 pieces of metal will butt together, and then they'll start to warp and have problems that way, even if you are really careful about cooling, you know, and giving it plenty of time. So there's always, you need to have just like a little thin gap between it, just so it can cool off, you know, heat up and cool off as you tack weld. We will have to do something with this and this don't match very well. So I want to start by cutting the front of this off with a cutoff wheel, and then we'll work to get this measurement correct, and then we'll go around the piece and continue that way. You can see that we've got our patch. I've tacked it just a few places, but we got a gap, so as I weld, it has a place to expand as we do all the tacks as we go around. These things here are pretty neat. They got a little T in the bottom, and you tighten them up. You tighten these up, and they level the panel, and you get the correct gap that you need. As you can tell right here, what I was saying is that this patch is just not made right for this piece, so I'm going to go all the way around, and then I'm going to have to do some massaging on the patch to make it match our original piece here. So I want it to have be loose, back there, just so we can get that done. So we're going to tack this on here and then continue on. Just work around the patch like that until you get it adhesed the way you wanted it to. I've MIG welded all the patch in, and then I've ground the welds down with a flat disc on my angle grinder. Now we're going to take this DA sander with some 80 grit. And that's going to tell us where some of our high and low spots are, because you can see it, like right here's a high spot where it didn't touch. This whole patch on this side is low, and since this is near an exhaust, I want to try to keep I think it'd be fine, but I want to try to keep the amount of body filler to not very thick, which is what you should do with body work anyway. Some of this I'm not going to have a whole lot of control over, because, well, it's like the shape of this, not quite exactly perfect, because this was narrower than what it was here. I guess whoever made the patch didn't, on whatever tractor that they used for their template, it may have been this big, but then it's gotten, the dies get bigger as they get used over the years and stuff. That right there, that's a little high right there. So basically, we're going to have to try to level this out the best we can, and then we'll have to use some filler. I'm not no expert body man by any stretch of the imagination, so I'll show you. I want to try to do some where you heat it up and then shrink the metal, because right here would be a good spot to do that. And this is pretty thick steel here, so we can hopefully it'll be a little more forgiving than a regular like car fender. They're really thin. They have a tendency to warp and do all kinds of terrible things. Well, she looks a little more like a tractor with the hood on it, doesn't it? Well, we can look and see. This is the first time I've put it on here since we've put this patch on. And I've done some work trying to level it out to where we won't have to use just as little as filler as possible. And you can see I put a little spray paint on there, and then run a regular old file across it, And you see the high spots showed up as, you know, shiny, and then the low spots is where there's going to be either filler or I'm going to work them back up. But there's a limit of how much this you can do and really see much result. I mean, this here, really, it's not going to have very much filler in it right here. It's very important. You know, you could actually, you know, work this, you know, everywhere you see a red spot, you can, you know, tap that up. But right now where I'm at is I go in here and I hit it and it pops it up, and then I could paint it, and then there'll be a high spot here. So it's such a minuscule amount that, you know, I'm just going to call it good. All right. This here, I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of goes over here and then gets narrower over here. I don't know how these were originally done, if they were originally like that or not, because this portion of this hood was, you know, torched out at some point. So I'm just going to blend it in the best I can, and I'm no body person, so we're just going to do the best we can. Over here, it had a very large dent, about right in here, really hard. There was a shield under the gas tank, and it was all buckled in, so whatever hit it very hard. And I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but you can actually see right here, it says Stockton, right here, like it's in Stockton, California. And I'd like to figure out what dealer was in Stockton, California in 1952. Or it may have been, you know, bought and sold a couple of times, you never know. But you can see right here, there's a sticker that says Stockton, California. And the reason why I think this is the original, you know, selling dealer for this particular tractor is in 52, they would have the John Deere, say John Deere, from here up. And this is a late 52, and I think they started this in 52, if not in really late 51. So putting the dealer sticker here would match up with the, you know, John Deere here. Whereas at some point somebody has repainted this tractor and put the John Deere, you can see John Deere, it was put in the middle like the older tractors had it, which put it right over the top of the dealer sticker. I mean, that's just the way, you know, that doesn't make sense to put the dealer sticker right over the John Deere, to me. I mean, that's make it look awful. So, I mean, would you want a brand new tractor with a big sticker over your John Deere, you know? I wouldn't be very happy. I really don't like dealership stickers to begin with, but on something like this, it's kind of cool because it's really old and it's kind of still there. So I'd like to figure out what dealer this come from. But I'm gonna get that hood back off here, get that steering shaft out. All the oil came out of the steering gear up there. Well, not all of it, but a portion of it did. And oh well, it's not too bad. But I think around the muffler is probably about ready for filler from, you know, the kind of body work I do. And this here, I've got it, I worked it out, and I'm gonna see if I can get a little more out of it here, especially with the gas tank in it. That gas tank provides a lot of support for the hood. You got it, no gas tank in it, it just flops around like a fish. So, and you know, you got to get this part straight, or it looks really, you know, they turn that headlight on and, you know, it looks all wavy. And well, you know, I got a lot of time in this tractor just to make it look like crap. So, so we'll try to do the best we can. Anyway, well, the bad thing is eventually we're going to get all this stuff on here and get it all fitted up, and it's all going to be all fitted up there tight, and then I got to tear it all back apart and paint it. But I know it won't have any leaks or any surprises after I get the paint on, hopefully. So today we got my other son, Joe. He's here, and he's going to work on the body work on this project. You've seen Paul here a lot. He's been doing a lot of the mechanical work, and Joe's the artiste of the family. So I told him, I said, I like drawing pictures too, but that don't really fit the bill. So we're going to have to get your art into a form where somebody will pay for it. Thus, body work. You think that's a good idea?
I like that.
Yeah, he don't think so. So anyway, all right. The first thing we're going to do is we're trying to work this side of the hood. Now I've worked on beating the dents out, with a hammer. It's really not that much thought process. You just beat up the low spots and beat down the high spots and try to get it as close as you can. That way you can use body filler to fix the dents. So I got it pretty close. It's not terrible. And I was going to show Joe how to use your hand to find the dents and to mark them. So Joe, are you ready to find all the dents in this panel?
I think I already did.
Oh, you think so? All right. So we'll start there.
Action.
All right. So you take your hand. This is your most valuable instrument when you're doing pretty much anything. So you take your hand with your palm flat, and just rub it onto the steel here, and you'll find dents. Okay. So we're going to do this portion here. And see, I'm going to see if I can find a dent or two up here, and then we're going to see if Mr. Joe can find a dent or two in here. So I'm feeling in this top portion here, maybe one dent. So you want to do this, Joe, right here, and see if you can find the dent. This hole right here. Just using your hand. You can close your eyes if you want to. Sometimes that helps. I've done it a lot. Now, I fixed one right here. It kind of was incorporated with the one that was on top here. You think so? Now circle it. Take a pencil. Yeah, here. You got to press down a little bit. All right, so we found the dent here. There's a little bitty dinky one there that I think that's more just a peck. Okay, so now we can do this panel here. And these here are spot welds where they spot welded the tank brace in there, and they just basically have this electric welder that looks like a pinch, and it pinches that metal and welds it up. So all those spaces, this area here is probably going to have to be done. And see, there's another one up here. Other than that, I don't think there's too awful much wrong with it.
It's like a big spot over there.
Here? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Well, that's on the next section. We're just doing the center section. Don't.
Sorry.
This is his first day. I don't want to scare him off. On those right there, Joe, this is what I would do. So, because it's going to take a whole bunch. So, just go whack. All right, so you got one there. Then up there's where something's hit it. Okay, you got those marked. All right, so how about this one? I wouldn't worry so much from here over because, well, it wasn't very straight from the get-go. We'll just do the best we can there. I can tell you right there's a bunch right here. Because the paint didn't get sanded off when we, What do you think, Joe?
Just that spot.
You think that's just that spot there?
Mm-hmm.
What about right here?
Okay.
Feel that. So, feel a spot there?
A little bit.
Okay. Okay, anything else? Right there? I ain't gonna deal with that. Quit. You're being a nitpicker. Yeah, Mr. Paul wants his tractor to be perfect. Now it's Joe and Paul's tractor, so put that in your pipe and smoke it. So we got a right there and right there. So we got here, 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 and here, and here. Fix, right? Mark that one real good.
Huh.
You didn't do very good. There you go.
Looks like a comma.
Okay. All right. So next, we mix up some filler to put in there. Paul's going to show Joe how to mix body filler because Dad showed him how to mix it up the other day. So, what's your first thing you need to do?
Get a stick.
Get your paint stick.
You put it in the Bondo.
It's not Bondo, it's polyester
Yes.
body filler. Bondo is a trademark name.
Yes.
So
I forget that.
So, okay. So the best way to do it is get you a piece of cardboard, which you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to use a mixing board that has replaceable little flaps so it doesn't mix anything that's in the cardboard into your body filler.
Why does that kind of look like mac and cheese?
When
it's just dripping.
Joe, I don't know what kind of mac and cheese you're eating, but I don't think I'd be eating it if it looked like that. Will you quit doing that? You fill it full of air. Get a big blob of it and put it on there. I didn't teach you to do that.
Oh, for Pete's sakes.
There you go. Just put it on there. Now go get you some more. You're playing. You're playing. You're having a good time. You little 5-year-old boy playing in the not Bondo, polyester body filler.
No, you got Dad saying it.
Yeah, well, it's hard to break because, well, that's what it's been for years. All right, now you slopped a bunch on the table, so now you slop more on the table.
For Pete's sakes, Paul, just freaking squeegee
Now you
it.
slop more on the table.
Freaking squeegee it, Jesus.
Ugh. You're killing me, Smalls. There. All right.
It's good, just
Now
freaking
scrape it up into a puddle.
like it's putty.
Now you're putting more air into it. Yeah, goodness. All right, the whole point of this is to not put air into the mixture because it puts pinholes in your fill. So, how much of this stuff are you supposed to put in that stuff?
Where it goes across it.
1/8 inch line that goes over the top. That's all that is required. Well, you might put more than that. There, that's enough because if you put all those little lines together,
It will make
folks,
something.
it may add up to the right amount. Okay, now how do you mix it? Do we just go crazy or
You mix it doing a figure 8
a
shape.
figure 8? Is that like a pirouette or?
No, it's like an 8.
Okay.
Think of it as a,
Okay, are we gonna do it before we dry?
yeah.
Come on.
There you go. We'll have to zoom in here if we can. No, we can't. Keeping the... You're killing me. I don't... Go back the other way. You don't just run it off the paper. But if you use the figure 8 like that, it should mix the, now go back the other way. Why don't you get this stuff here? Get it all, that way Now, okay, hey there, bud. Now, sometimes you have to do this number, because I've seen it to where the blue line of stuff gets on the little paddle, and there you go. Don't hold it. There you go. We don't want to be sloppy. Okay. Okay, mix her in some more. And, all right, so that's ready to spread.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll go over and apply it to the hood. All right. Well, I'm going to do this one right here. Now, you want to, as you noticed, the dent is not as big as how much filler I'm putting in, all right? You may be very liberal with the amount of filler you put on. So, I mean, you don't want to cake it on. See, like this one here, you don't want to, you're going to sand like 90% of this off, because you want to taper your, you know, the dent. You want to, if you've got a dent this big, you're going to probably put a patch this big in there to fill it, just because you got to do it. You got to taper the dent out, because if you don't, it'll get a wave in it. You know, you're not going to have enough material there to fill the dent and basically hide it. All right, Joe, now you watch me do it. I want you to do one. I'm going to come around here on the other side. You want me to hold this for you? You stay over there. All right, so you need to get your glob that. There you go, just like that. Good. Now, put it right there. Try not to put it in these grooves.
I'll try.
No. You're putting too much pressure on it.
All right.
You want to leave some behind, see? You see them bubbles right there? Mm-hmm. That's because Paul didn't mix it very good. He put a bunch of air in it. It's because he stinks at doing this stuff.
I only just started doing it.
That and literally.
All right, see how I did that? So it's like icing a cake. So ice the cake. Put some right here and put a little air and try not to. No. You don't. You're terrible at icing cakes.
Wasn't made for icing.
Yeah, you just eat the icing off the top of the cake, don't you? All right. Darn it. Why'd you put that hole there? I'm gonna try to daub it up. All right. Now that you got your fill there, you're supposed to put pressure on it, see? But not too much pressure. Okay? So you try going this way. You know, you can actually, all right. I know I'm not letting the boy do it, but this stuff sets up. All right, now let up your pressure. There you go, there. Now try to do this one here. Okay, that's fine. Just scrape it off. That's the wrong end. I'll scrape it off here. All right, now let me so get your little bit on here. I gotta fix what I just dribbled on the other part of the hood here. What turns into. Now see, you got a big groove there. There you go. You're getting it. Don't mess with it. All right. Get these and get these. You gotta get more putty. Get it. There you go. Don't feel bad about putting it on there. That's what it's for. Don't put that much on there. That's good. Sorry. Just trying to grab some. There you go. Yeah. Good. Now, kind of feather that out. Like this. Now you can actually kind of shake it a little. Shake it. Oh yeah. Get the feel for it here. Kind of like riding a bicycle, huh? All right. All right. Don't stick your hand in it. That's terrible.
Sorry.
It gets awful sticky. All right. Get you a blob of it. Hopefully not on me. Get you some of this stuff. There you go. Get the good stuff. There you go. There you go. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. All right. This is with no assistance from Dad. Very nice. There you go. Scrape it off. I think I got some in my eye. You need to kind of go that way with it. No. You gotta kind of push it out there like that. Okay? See, I couldn't keep my nose out of it. I had to go and help again. So, since I helped you on this one, you get to do it again. Here, have some putty. Hurry up, it's starting to dry. Nope, just squeegee it on there. Yeah, oh my God, you're a Picasso. All right, it's starting to go down in there, so I don't want you to do that. There you go, Here, scrape her off. Oh yeah. Now, you know what I do? Nothing.
What's it?
You just can't leave it alone, can you? There you go. You wanna put more in there? You can. We can. That's fine. There you go. Drag it out there. Okay. Don't get crazy there. You see, if you made that all flat, then you wouldn't have that big groove right there. Okay. Don't get crazy. Oh, look at that. You're natural. All right. Well, any more spots we need to do? I'll put some right there on the edge. Yeah, here, you'll have to get the blob. I think we got a little crazy mixing this stuff up. Yeah. See, you want to go like that. Okay. All right. Well, so you want to go from here down to there. There you go. Push it in there. There you go. I like that. I like that a lot. Oh. There. What you got there is get this crap off here. All right, now do your thing. But you're gonna have to hurry because it's starting to set up. You can just leave that there. It'll be fine.
Oh.
Here. There's no dent here. There you go. Now, try again. There, stop. You got it. See, that's my biggest problem is I put it on there and I don't like sanding. So I want to get it as close as I can when I put the ply. So basically, I don't put enough on there, and then when I sand, it sands too far. So, all right, Joe, you are now a master Bondo spreader. I mean, polyester body filler spreader. You got Bondo in his hair.
Wait, what now? Oh, come on!
Polyester body filler. Oh, look at your puppy. Oh, look at the one in the puppy in the basket.